Hey Mel, today we have a much requested class for y'all. It is a express arms and abs workout. We're going to be using a small ball and a set of light weights. I'm using 3s. You can use anything from 1s to 5s. Wouldn't go any higher than that though. We'll grab those things and we'll get started down on the mat with the ball and the weights. All right, y'all. So we're going to start with that ball and the weights. So the ball is going to go into that upper back, like right in line with that sports bra strap, bringing the weights with you. And then we're going to lay back onto that ball. And then we're going to start with those arms straight out in front of us, arms extended. And then we're just going to start with a little crunch to warm it up. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. So slow and steady, small range of motion. On the way up, you want to barely touch the ball. On the way back down, try not to just collapse onto it. So you want to stay in control up and down. Those feet are hip distance apart. The knees are staying nice and still. From here, start to think about that exhale, hips and ribs coming a little bit closer together. We're going to start to add on in 3. Last 2. This one up and hold it up. Arms open a few inches, close, lower back down. Exhale, lift, pause. Open, close, lower. Slow and steady. As you open your arms, just mindful of that low back. If you start to lose that control, you don't have to open as wide. You should really feel your abs every time you open those arms to stabilize. Ooh. Really nice one for core. Biceps, triceps, pecs, lats, traps are all working on this one. We've got 3 more. We're going to hold it up. Last 2. Last one up. Hold the arms open. Little pulse up, down, up, down. Think about barely touching that ball. Shoulders down, chin lifted. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way back down. Arms come in. Take a quick second. Rock it out, let it go. So we're going to stay back and down on the ball on this one. And we're going to go into a bicep curl. So arms extended out, long and straight, arms at shoulder height. Curl in, exhale, extend out on that inhale. So elbows holding nice and still, even though we're not crunching up and off that ball right now, still thinking about keeping that belly pulled in, pulling that low back down towards your mat, and the knees nice and still. Working in both directions. Resist those arms in. Pause. Find that little flex in the biceps. Triceps work a little bit on the way out too, so it's not just the biceps. And then light grip on those weights. You can go fingertips long or hold on to those weights, whatever feels better for you. We've got 5. We're going to hold it in 4. Last 3. 2. One more time, curl it in, hold it in, arms open to the sides, palms forward, crunch it up, arms come together. Down, arms open, crunch. If it feels like too much with the weights, ditch the weights. Keep the arms moving though. Thinking about lifting, keeping that little tuck in the chin, knees staying nice and still on this one. Back stays flat. Almost there. Keep breathing. Flex those biceps every exhale. 5. Last 4. 3. We're holding it up in 2. Last one. Hold it together. Little pulse up, down, up, down. Tiny little pulses up and off that ball. You can always lower the arms if it feels like too much. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the arms in, lower back to the ball. Arms extend back on that inhale. Pull down to shoulder height, exhale. Reach and pull. Exhale back. Sometimes I mess up breath. We're all human, right? You should feel those triceps start to engage on this one a little bit more. Keep that little tuck in the chin. You can always modify by taking a smaller range of motion or ditching those weights. Find what feels good. Keep pulling that belly down and in. That low back, imagine it's flat on the mat. Strong and steady. Gaze is forward, down beneath the knees. Last 5. Last 4. 3. We're holding it in 2. Last time back. Hold it in. Little pulse up, down, up, down. If that's feeling good, pulse up into that crunch. At the same time, those arms lift an inch above the shoulders. Stacking forearms over elbows. Last set here for a bit. Hold on to it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the way down. Set the weights down. You can go hands behind the head. Open up. Little rock roll side to side. Grab onto the backs of the legs and pull yourself up. We're going to set the ball to the side for a second, as well as one of those weights. So we just need one right now. So we're going to come into a side plank position. We're going to go right forearm down and that right knee down. So we're going to start with knee to knee, right elbow, right shoulder stacked. That left arm's just going to lift up to the ceiling, and then we're just going to lower the hips, lift. So a little hip dip down, inhale, up, exhale. If this is feeling good, you could start to extend that top leg long, slow and steady. Every lift, exhale, thinking about hip, rib coming a little closer together. Gaze can go down towards that right forearm, up at that left hand. We've got 3, 2, last one. Hold it up. If that leg's extended, go knee to knee, hold. Now bend at the elbow, inhale, extend, exhale. So just keeping that elbow still for right now. If it's helpful to look, you can. You can also go back down, gaze at that bottom elbow. We're going to start to layer on some more movement from here. In 3, 2, last 1. So now arm comes down, hip goes down, lift the arm, extend, leg extends up. Hip and leg together, arm and leg extend out. If it doesn't feel good, you can always go back to that first movement where the hips are holding still, or you could keep the leg lifted and extended and just bend at that elbow. Ooh, that bottom arm should be feeling this too. 4, last 3, 2, last one up, hold. 10 strong seconds here. Find that best lift up from that right hip for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull it down, shake it out, let it go, and then we'll go right over to that second side. So this time left forearm comes down, and then we'll go knee to knee. Arm reaches up towards that sky, towards the ceiling, wherever you're at, and then we start with that hip down and up. Gaze up at that hand, down at that elbow, whatever it feels good. You want that bottom elbow and shoulder to be stacked. If you're feeling good, top leg can start to extend up and out. Challenges that core connection here a little bit more. 5, 4, last 3, 2, last 1, and then we're into that tricep press. You can always go back, knee to knee, hold. If you're feeling good, keep that top leg extended up and out. Right now, that lower body holding still. Focus on keeping that right elbow in place the whole time. We're going to start to add on in 3, 2, last 1. Now as you come down, knee to knee, hip down, arm and leg extend. Knee together, arm bends, and length. Think about sending energy out through that toe. Remember, you can always change the position of your gaze, whatever feels better for you and your neck. No strain, no tension. Last 4, 3, keep breathing. Last 2, last one up, hold. Hip lifts high. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming down, let it go. Whew. We're going to go back to that ball and our weights. So coming back to that ball, ball's going to go back into the upper back, right about in line with that sports ball. Whew. And we're extending those arms, weights in the hands. We're going to go into a bow and arrow Right side only to start. So exhale, pull the right elbow back. Inhale, extend. Think about rotating, belly button up. Gaze down at the elbow as you pull back. That opposite arm reaching long and strong. Halfway there. Last 4. Last 3. 2. Last one. Hold it back. Little pulse up, down, up, down. Keep that gaze down towards that right elbow. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down, extend the right arm. Pull the left elbow back. Exhale. Rotate center. Inhale. Twist. Feel that deep crunch into that left side or that pinch through that waist. That right arm reaching long and strong. Keeping knees, feet nice and still. Glued down on the mat. Halfway there. Keep tucking that tailbone under. Back stays flat. 4, 3, 2. Last one back. Hold. Little crunch pulse. Up, down, up, down. Shoulders drawing down and back. Gaze down towards that left elbow. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. Let it go for a second. Shake it out. Okay. So now from here, arms bend down to the sides. Feet firmly planted. Feet, knees, hip distance apart. Crunch it up. Extend the arms. Come up and off that ball. Lower back down. Elbows tap the mat. Crunch up. Serve that tray. Pull back down. If it doesn't feel good to leave the ball, you could always stop before you do. As you come up, thinking about rolling up through that spine, tailbone tucked under, knitting the ribs together. Just by breathing, deepening that exhale, you contract more through the core. You work the intercostals, the little muscles in the rib cage. Almost there. Final 5. Think length through that neck. 4, 3. Keep breathing. Feet still. 2. Last one up. Hold. Right arm to the side. Back in. 4. Small range of motion. 3, 2. Last one. Now hold center. Left arm to the side. In. Side. In. It's hard not to let those knees move. Smaller if you feel movement. 2. Last one. Center. Come down. Let it go. Set the weights to the side. Grab that ball. Lay it down flat on your back. Little bridge up. Take that ball. Place it underneath that tailbone. Keep those weights close by. You could always hold them in the hands. And then from here, lift one knee at a time into a tabletop position. Once that feels good, we're going to start to bicycle out the legs. Right leg in, or right leg out. Right leg in, left leg in. So if you need to modify, you can always extend the legs up a little bit higher. If you want more, dive the legs down a little lower. Those hands can stay flat down on the mat. If you want more, you could take those weights in the hands, arms above the shoulders. A lot of core stability required. You're going to feel a little wobbly. It's okay. You can always drop those hands back down onto the mat with or without the weights. Slow and steady, not about speed, not about how many we can fit in. Tailbone tucked, head heavy. Keep breathing. Maybe start to dive the legs a little bit lower. Notice if there's any differences as you extend the legs. Last 10 seconds. We're going to hold that right leg out and pause. 3. Last 2. One more time, right and left. Once you're back on that right leg, hold it out. So left leg in above the hip, right leg out. Right leg lifts to the ceiling, right leg lowers back down. Slow pace. Imagine you have weight on that right foot. You're pulling it up, pushing it down. Strong. Fight that wobble. Ribs pulling down and in. 3, 2, last one up, lower down, switch out those legs, right leg in above the hip, and then that left leg lifts to the ceiling, inhale, lowers, exhale. But most important, just keep breathing. Fight the wobble. One side is usually more wobbly than the other. If you feel like this is that side, a little slower. Hands can always come back down onto the mat. 4, last 3, keep breathing. Last 2, keep that right knee still above the hip. Last 1, and bring it down. Left leg into tabletop, hold. Arms come down to the sides to start again. Extend the legs up to the ceiling, both legs lower down, inhale. Pull up as you exhale. Lower, inhale, pull up, exhale. If it doesn't feel good, knees can bend to tabletop. You could go right heel taps the ground, in, left heel taps the ground, in. That feels good. You could go both heels down and up. Otherwise, keep both legs lowering to that point of control. You don't want to go so far that you lose it. Almost there. 3, last 2. We're going to pause at the top. Last one up and hold. Right leg lowers, lifts. Left leg lowers and lifts. If you want it, you could bring those hands back up, arms above the shoulders. And then you could start to make it a little bit more seamless. As one leg goes down, the other leg starts to pull up, just making sure that both hip bones stay pointing up towards the ceiling. Last little push is coming up in front of us. Strong and steady to finish. Remember, hands can always come back down if you feel more wobbly right now. Last 10 seconds. Keep that breath strong. Shoulders pulling down the back. One more time each way. And once you're even, feet down to the ground, hands down to the ground, let it go. Grab that ball. So from here, we're going to take ball right above the ankle bones, weights in the hands, head down. We finish in a crunch. So arms above the shoulders, crunch it up, exhale, squeeze on the ball. Inhale, lower down, arms above the shoulders, head down. We're going to start to add on. Next time you crunch it up, legs extend, squeeze on the ball still. Pull it down. You do not have to extend the legs if it doesn't feel good here. We're going to get a little bonus inner thigh work. Fun fact, the inner thighs connect up to the pelvic floor. Pelvic floor connects to that core. So anytime you work the inner thighs, you're working the core. 3, 2, last one up and hold. Little squeeze on that ball. In. Ooh, I'm shaking. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Head down. Hug it in. Rock it out. Let it go. Set the weights down, set the ball down. And then just reach long. Take a nice, big stretch. When you're ready, hug it in. Maybe rock side to side. Release that low back. And rock and roll it up. Nice work today, y'all. I'll see you next time.